On tonight's show with Speaking It Real, Frank and Carlos are talking about Donald Trump's emails to the Justice Department, building up the workforce, and a one-on-one interview with a guest from Sri Lanka. All that and more tonight.
Coming to you live from Clearwater, Florida, it's Speaking It Real. Here's your hosts, Frank Cuesta and Carlos Contreras.
Well.
Another week has come and gone.
Yes, it has. I'm your host. I'm Frank.
And I'm the sidekick. I am Carlos.
I'm Carlos. Look, normally, guys, as you know, we start the show off with just Carlos and I. We've had technical difficulties today, but at least this week, my guests that said they're going to make it, not like my guests that show up Wednesday. All right, my guest here made it today. We've gone through troubles to get her on, but hey, Roshni, thank you for joining us.
No, friend.
Roshni has her own podcast. It's called Tao Academy on YouTube.
And Tao is found in any device.
Cool. Roshni, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Rashni Hevawasam, and I'm a Sri Lankan. I was born in an island, so it's like a completely different culture when it considered to the Western world. I would say I was brought up really differently compared to anyone I've known. And especially when I'm now here in France and I get to meet new people from everywhere. So I used to meet a lot of international students because I went to an international school. So I was always mixing with a lot of people who are way different than me. And I came from a really distinct culture, which was so surprising because it kind of gave me limitations, when I was a kid, specific limitations. But so as the years passed by, I found out that it's better to have an open mind, I would say, and because the world doesn't only revolve around one culture. There's
Correct.
a whole new there's a whole new perspective that needs to, because when you consider our traditional culture, there's so many things that are wrong. I think that they are wrong.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we you and I was on your show and we spoke about that.
Yes.
One of the things that got me was that you guys out there or in Sri Lanka or your culture is that you guys have arranged marriages.
Yeah.
To me, I was very surprised on that. Like, arranged marriages, where's that come from? I mean, I'm out here where we don't arrange anything.
We complain about everything.
Right. Well, yeah, Carlos is saying that we complain about everything. So, it's one of those.
I'm also like that. I complain about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
A change. I am the only rebel in the family that demands a change.
So you're the black sheep in your family.
Yeah. Make sure she understands. I didn't say she's complaining. I'm saying, she had it, she's from a society where there's a ton of restrictions. And we in America tend to complain way too much.
Yeah, well, Carlos is actually telling me on the other side that he wasn't saying that you complain, just in general as a society, where we're at here, we complain a lot,
Yeah.
Hey, sketchy. So
even in my I have explained a bit about my culture, and I've compared it with the rest of the world and society as well.
Correct.
Yeah,
So
like a model. Yeah.
Well, as you know, as we spoke before, we go through presidential elections out here every 4 years,
Yes.
and my questions towards you about it. What do you guys hear out there about American politics?
The thing is that it's pretty more interesting than our own politics. I mean, like if you take into consideration how the government is set up and how the presidents and the prime ministers are, I would say that they're doing a pretty good job compared to our country. I would say that there are not enough people to actually that come forward for this kind of responsibility in our country, which is the problem. And there's not enough. Like I think this is my perspective on things, that people who run for presidency should be a little more younger, because I think that they work better, not older. As That's my perspective. And I
Hmm.
feel like due to culture, a lot of people make a lot of mistakes in the government.
So
Yeah.
let me ask, what type of government system do they have in
I
Sri
would
Lanka?
say that like US
Oh my God.
politics is always interesting.
Right. So Carlos has a question. Carlos is asking, what type of government system do you guys have in Sri Lanka?
We have the almost the same as yours, but the America with the federal and the Congress and kind of the same structure,
Democratic
I
setup.
would
Okay.
say.
It's a
Uh,
would it would be a democratic setup more or less?
yes,
All right.
democratic country, but some policies like seem ironic because I don't know, like even for America, I guess that some of the policies do not correspond with democracy itself. Like, and some of the actions carried out by some of the people in the cabinet, it goes against them.
How
But I
often?
think like it's a similar structure.
How
Okay.
often are there presidential elections?
How often are there presidential elections?
Every 4 years.
All right, so every 4 years, more or less like us also.
All right.
Yes, the thing is that it's different. This is why it's different, because we don't have many people who come forward for that kind of responsibility, and we need more educated people to come forward. And
have the same
there's only
problem.
like a limited number of people, so I would say like one family that pretty much rules the whole country.
Oh,
So that family just goes on for generations and generations having the power.
So
so
That's what's not fair.
Right,
it's,
right.
It's almost like a monarchy set up in a democracy. Is that kind of what I'm understanding?
right, Carlos is saying it's more like a monarchy set up in a democracy.
Yes.
That's more or less. I mean, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, I was gonna say it seems more like it's like a type of dictatorship in a sense.
Disguised as a democracy.
The recent presidency, yes.
Well, we actually have a question here from one of our listeners. Sketchy Peasant. He's always on our show. He always comments. He has a question here. And it's, what is the voter turnout in Sri Lanka? Like number wise, do
I think-
you have majority of the country that goes, or maybe half, or what is it more or less?
It's mostly the West, like I would say. That
What do you mean?
it goes on the elections. It's mostly a West part.
Okay.
That is, yeah. The East is like you don't get most of the people so interested on this, because they know that in small countries they manipulate the results a lot. The voting results.
Mm-hmm.
They know it's been like manipulated a lot
Right.
of the time.
Okay.
Because
So.
it's a small country and nobody's going to look in the first place.
Right. Okay. So we have another listener that he's asking, what's the biggest issue affecting politics in your immediate area?
So
I think that we never improve a lot. That's the thing with the presidents, because we for example, our president in this current moment, he's only concentrating on one thing, which is developing the country, and that's it. He doesn't focus on the education systems being online and other new facilities. He just wants to develop the country, and I think that that's a very limited approach for a president for our country, because you have to consider other stuff as well.
okay. Now, no, so far, I mean, it's an interesting dynamic. Like, they have a setup like ours, but what good is a democracy when when an entire family is running the show?
Right.
And according to what she's saying, elective.
A sort of made up plan, and just so that one family will dominate the entire presidency.
Ask her if they. I mean, I know she's already stated that there's a family, but ask if if they have political parties. How many are there?
Gotcha.
How diverse is that?
Presidents.
So, quick question. Carlos, I'm sorry. Repeat your question again to me that you wanted.
How many political parties?
Yeah.
Do they have in Sri Lanka?
How many political parties do you guys have in Sri Lanka?
Oh, we just have 2. That's it.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so 2
It's
political
like carbon
parties.
copy almost.
2 main ones, 2 or 3 main ones.
Okay.
Others are not noticed because it's a small country. Nobody's going to look. We have 2 or 3 main ones, and one political party is the bull lead, and the other one is the elephant. I would say those are the 2 main political parties.
So they're animals?
No, yeah, they have they have names, but very complicated names. So I just told you the
Right. Of course. Okay. All right.
We're run by elephants and jackasses, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, Carlos is saying that we're run by elephants and jackasses also. But what else? What else could we throw at her today? So, question.
Yes.
All right. What do you think of our former president Trump?
I think that, okay, first of all, I want to say that when Trump was against Biden, I was one of the very few people who did not like both of them.
Okay.
So it was a kind of a different view over there. So I mean, I think Trump is a guy who thinks for himself. So that's also a good thing about him, if I had to say. But he screws up a lot of stuff because I think he doesn't have enough guidance, or he doesn't listen to people so often. And I think that's where he screws up.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I think that he's a good leader overall. He's a good leader.
Right.
That's good.
He's a good leader, but obviously there are some times he everybody calls him a racist. Everybody calls him, he doesn't like the LGBTQ. He's against LGBTQ rights. And there's so many stuff I heard about him that goes against it. But I think that he should have to develop an open mind once again.
Right. Okay, that's fine. So we have another question from this. This one goes from Sketchy Peasant. He's been commenting on us. He says, do the 2 political parties in Sri Lanka work with one another, or are they very divided?
They are very divided.
Okay, so it's kind of like here, more or less, also.
Yes, they are really divided, actually.
Right. So then we have Thomas asking, do you feel like a third party could be a good option?
Yeah.
All right.
And what would that third party look like to her?
Okay, and what would that third party look like to you?
Someone, I think they should be like a young group of politicians, like I would say, a younger version who kind of
Millennials.
yeah, yeah, not exactly millennials. I would say like an educated person, because that's what we want in this country.
Right.
With
Right.
a good education background, because there are only like really few people who are actually educated in the cabinet. In our cabinet, it's like there is a meme going around the entire internet that in our cabinet we have only people who like to eat food and spend money.
I think they're doing a good job at copying us. I don't see much of a difference.
Yeah, we think that you guys are doing a real good job at copying our, what we do and how we do it. Great. I love it. It's good to kind of get a perspective on what other countries actually do.
Yes.
And their politics, their political system compared to ours. But it looks like the Sri Lankan political party is pretty much like ours. They're divided. I think one of the only differences is that you guys have one family running it.
Yeah. So hold on. Help me out here, Frank. I'm trying to understand that dynamic. Is the family?
There was only like one. I think he was a farmer that opposed this man from running presidency. He won the presidency for 4 years, but he was having, at the end of the day, most of the instructions he followed was from the former president. And
right.
And he didn't do much for the country. So then our former president's, let's say former president's brother came into power. So basically,
okay.
So I want to ask her this, because I mean, there's two parties, they're divided. It sounds a lot, but she also says it's a family.
Hold on.
They are part of the.
Carl.
Yeah. So are the families on both sides of the aisle, or how does that work exactly?
So are the families? You say that. It's been one family that's been running the show pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, are they on different sides of the aisle in the sense that they belong to two different political parties?
No, the same.
It's the same political party. Okay.
And so how long has that party been in control?
How long has that party been in control?
I would say almost 8 years, more than 8 years.
More than 8 years. Wow. Okay, so we got another question here.
You have a lot of questions, man.
This is great. Of course. Okay, so question from Tomas. Who comes to your mind as a good leader for a group like that in your local area? Do they already have a group that is locally supported?
Not that much either. I would say no.
Okay.
Is that because of the family dynamic that runs the country?
There's a majority rule that doesn't like one family ruling, but there are a few people, I would say, who basically like that family because there's no one else to go against them. I would say no one can compete with them. No one is coming forward, especially for a kind of responsibility like that.
So hold on. That's interesting. Tell her to hold on.
Hold on, Rashini.
Is there some kind of and I want to get to these questions too that everybody else is asking, but when you get to the point where you're afraid to take them on, is there any kind of like how do I say, force? Is there some intimidation? That's the word. Is there some kind of intimidation going on in that country where people are too scared?
So Carlos is asking, and I was trying to get his question right. If there's people that go against, or actually not go against, but who run against
Yeah.
Whoever the president is at this moment over there, is there any type of like intimidation?
Yeah, I mean, like it always ends up badly. I would say there was an army officer, I think, that once competed against the family, and he ended up in jail. So yeah,
So I mean, I'm gonna be very honest. To me, this is sounding like it's more of a dictatorship,
yeah,
than an actual,
and
presidency or democratic, views
Yeah,
on this.
democracy.
that's
Right,
yeah.
democracy. But all right. So Sketchy Peasant, he has another question here for you. So he goes. Does Rashini feel like there should be an age limit for politicians? Okay, now it's a two-part question. So, can someone who is in their 70s or 80s really understand the struggles and relate to individuals who are in their 20s, 30s, and 40s? Wait, can't hear you. Hold on. So, okay, go ahead and answer.
So I would say no, that's not possible because the majority of people in our country still obeys tradition and culture. Like they don't even let a woman take such a dominant role that easily. We had only one, I think, one female presidency that was like when I was like a toddler. We had one female presidency. Even to for the police department, even they don't make them head of chief officer that easily. I mean, there's obviously going to be petitions and stuff like this going against a female, and that's why I think bringing even more 70 or to 80-year-old politicians are definitely there's something going so wrong because they don't understand that we should open up to new possibilities. They think that they have to like follow the same tradition as what we did ages ago. That's what's wrong. And that's why I think younger people should be handling all those high positions.
Right, that will make sense. So Zach is
I'm a little 50-50 on that, but all right.
So Zach is asking, is there a House and Senate as well? Like over here, we have. Wait, I gotta unmute you when I ask you this because what's going on is. Hold on, just so everybody has an understanding of how this interview is being conducted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Frank is playing two-way radio.
Yeah, I pretty much am playing two-way radio. Is we couldn't get Rashini on our platform, so
You
we're
say
doing
Rashini
it.
one more time. It's
Rashni.
Rashni.
Rashni. You see, I kill her name. I'm sorry. So everybody understands that we couldn't get her on our platform. So I was able to go ahead and go through Facebook Messenger and get her on. So there might be a little bit of delay on the questions asked, and so I got to mute her and come back and forth. So I'm playing telephone operator today. I love it. So Rashni, you did say that there is a House and there's a Senate as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good. Now next question would be, what would be the best choices us as citizens could do in the U.S. to help your local area improve?
I mean, we help everybody else in the world. How can we help Sri Lanka?
You could first of all, the thing is that there's definitely a lot of there's something that's going on that is completely unfair, like the law cases, for example, which is totally unfair. That people only know whether they've actually won a law case in the afterlife, and it's like after you're dead, you can find out that whether you won the law case or not. They've been highly delayed, and the thing is that there has been a case that the previous presidents have been stealing the country's money and treasury. So you could do something about that. That would be so good. If the US president could do something about that, that would be great. Because I think that's the main issue here. It's more of a gamble of money that's happening, especially when one family is running the country.
Right.
So court cases or lawsuits.
Money to Dubai in another account, and that was a part of the country's money.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Carlos has another question.
So So I was just saying. So lawsuits are dragged out until people are dead, and then they get decided. And I assume because they're dead, that's kind of their way of getting out of a jam or a situation. Is that what I'm understanding?
I think so. So lawsuits are pretty much decided when people are dead. So pretty much, if they're decided when people are dead, it really doesn't matter at that point because no one's going to pay anything, or no one's going to get paid.
Yes, that's the idea.
Yeah, that's the idea, Carlos.
That's dirty. That's dirty.
That's very
evil.
dirty.
That's evil.
So, what are your thoughts? Well, I'm going to put it the way Zach puts it, and then I'm going to explain to you who this person is. So, Zach is asking your thoughts on Uncle Joe. Okay. And Uncle Joe is our president right now.
Yes.
You know, Zach is wondering what your thoughts on President Joe Biden is.
I think he has done a good job for the start. I would say with a lot of agreements and stuff like this, trying to make sure that everything is going well. He's supporting small businesses, especially during the pandemic. But I think that what he's doing wrong is he's probably over publicizing a vaccine, I would say. And that's
okay. So
yeah.
hold on. I like this one now because now we're gonna get into a little bit of COVID talk.
Yes.
All right. So how is he hold on. How is he over publicizing the vaccine?
It's like a must to take it,
Like you must take it.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that he's saying you must take it. I think what we're trying to do is get people to take the vaccine so it could be on the safe side. I know that you and I spoke about COVID, on your show, and I took the vaccine.
Yes, I know.
I think people should take the vaccine, and that's what I think. Joe Biden is saying, hey, you should take the vaccine. It's better to be safe, than not to.
Yeah, but this is an argument because there are some frontline doctors who even came forward saying that this is political pressure that they're doing. And they said that there is a lot of pause in the vaccine as well. And these are independent doctors. These are doctors who have their own organization.
Yeah, these are the ones that get banned on YouTube.
I think last week.
Right. Carlos said that these are the ones that get banned on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Could kind of understand. So, what do you think about Bitcoin?
I think that it's a cool way, first of all, but then there are some disadvantages because I have read about cybersecurity and stuff like this. So we have to make sure it's safe on both sides. And I think that if Bitcoin is released, would there be inflation or some sort?
Right.
So there is also a question. So if people are actually using Bitcoin, would the value of the note be, nothing?
Are cryptos popular in Sri Lanka? Are there a lot of investors out there?
Is cryptocurrency popular in Sri Lanka? Is there a lot of investors?
No.
No, there's not. Okay. Well,
No.
I don't think we will be the first people to have Bitcoin, but it has to take several more years.
Okay.
Really?
All right.
Interesting.
All right. Just we're gonna pause and we gotta pay some bills. We're gonna go into a quick commercial break. Rasheen,
Say it.
I can't pronounce her name. Roshni. Roshni, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're gonna go ahead and pay some bills.
Hello, my name is Joe Aguirre. I'm the president of Clovercrest Media Group. And here at CMG, we have a wide variety of podcasts, including sports shows like Keys to the City, The Roll Call, Throwing Jabs, All Four Downs, and Jawing About the G-Men. And great true crime shows like Sticky Week, Crimes and Consequences, Ivy League Murders, and Bird, the unsolved murder of David Eichmann. You can find all these podcasts and so much more by visiting clovercrestmedia.com.
They have a good
All right,
understanding of what it is.
so we're back. We're back. You know, and look, we're here with Roshni. She's from Sri Lanka. You know, as I said before, you know, we finally got her on after a couple of weeks of trying. You know,
This is why Frank is a hero.
Hey, listen,
Frank
man.
is an absolute hero.
Hey, I try to get her on. Today, you know, when the minute we started connecting, we're having those connection issues. I was like, man, how could we do this? There has to be another way.
Commended.
You know, and hey, look, as much as I cannot stand Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, you know what? Thank you, Facebook Messenger. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, I guess. You know,
Yeah, I'm not thanking you for shit.
Hey, it's his platform. He could cut us off. You know, so to continue here with the questions. Sketchy Peasant is asking, Trump started the Space Force. So far, we haven't been attacked by Mars. Do you think warfare around the world is turning to cyber warfare? Should countries have?
I think he had so much to say, he just couldn't finish.
Yeah, you mean the one that's on the internet, right?
Yeah, like cyber attacks and things like that.
Correct, yeah, like cyber attacks.
Sketchy's not familiar with satellite warfare, so
Okay.
that's beyond him. But he's talking about cyber.
Anything is like possible during this like time we're heading towards the future, and obviously there's going to be more risks. There's going to be definitely more new ways to kind of like and more new ways to disrupt the system. Like, yeah.
Okay, all right. I think
Actually, hold on. So, what is Sri Lanka's relationship with India? I'm not very. I'm not an expert in their politics. Do they have an amicable relationship? Is there a lot of tension there? How does that work?
So Carlos is asking, what is Sri Lanka's relationship with India? Are you guys amicable, or do you guys have a good relationship, bad relationship?
It's actually we have an okay relationship, but the thing is that we had a war because of a civil war actually, and it lasted for like 20 years or so, approximately. I'm not giving you the exact, but it's kind of like it lasted a really long time, and it was there even when I was born, so. Like and people were afraid to go to the capital, and I think this civil war kind of started because people mistaken our history, because the thing is that like the southern Indians think they own Sri Lanka because according to history, according to India, they have mentioned that Sri Lanka was once a part of India, and we go against that because we have a really old history going from 5000 BC that tells that our land is basically isn't owned by India, and I think that is where the like kind of controversy issue began. It's like, well, basically. I think this is where the problem began, is like because India wants to basically take control of this little island. And according to our history, it's like this island is ours, it's rightfully ours. And a lot of the time, because India has a lot of power, I would say, it's a bigger country than us, and we're like a tiny little teardrop. It can manipulate our history, can tell anything, and then people would actually believe it, because most people believe what India has to say, not Sri Lanka, because we are just so tiny. We don't have
Right.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay.
So is there a nation in that region that they have a
Yeah, like we kind
So-
of have different and in well with other people. It's just that there is one particular group that is kind of like extremist.
All right. So
Yeah.
Carlos has another question. Carlos, repeat your question.
is there a nation in that area where they do have like a really tense relationship with, like something a very
Right,
very
right. I
hostile
got you.
relationship? Mhm.
Is there a region in that area that you guys have like a very hostile
nation.
relationship with, or nation?
It's no, it's we get along with Indians quite well, actually.
Right.
It's just there is a particular group of extremists that like I would like to like have this kind of would like to conquer land. So they want to conquer our land and say it's theirs.
Right.
And I
Okay.
think there is where the problem lies. I think it's a misunderstanding with history, because we go back 5000 BC and they just came in between. I would say the Indians like came in between and kind of like mated with kings and queens, and therefore they think that this island is theirs.
So when did she get to France?
They are the
All right.
continent.
So Carlos is asking, when was it you got to France? I think maybe we gotta go into your little your story on how you ended up in France.
So yeah, after I graduated in high school, like I was given a scholarship to Romania. So I would start by that. It was for medical college, and I was like, yes, it was like the second most hardest course in the world, and I was like pretty excited when I got it. It's like my hard work has paid off. And I got a chance to travel alone for the first time to Romania, and I got a chance to be incredibly independent within that entire like year. And I had a lot of fun, like I would say, because like I was studying things I was very interested in for some subjects. And what I would do is that my dad was kind of like really overprotective. My parents, actually, both of them, and so they put rules on me, even though like we are kind of separated. They call me like every morning, noon, and night, probably, just to make sure I'm safe. I'm only going to the uni and coming home. So they used to give me my daily budget, so it's enough to go to uni and come back. So what I did was I started like selling notes, because I know that a lot of students, what they need is like they need to learn fast, and they need the appropriate, I would say, content to learn fast and what exactly to learn. And so I started like printing some notes for them and then tutoring them, and basically like gaining like some sort of financial freedom at first. And I was really happy with myself, because, oh my God, I'm earning right now. And I'm actually feeling quite responsible. And then what I did was I used it to go clubbing.
Of course.
And I used to tell, like, I used to lie a bit to my dad. Like, I was like, I would be like, I'm going to sleep, but I'm not actually going to sleep. I'm going to party with my girlfriends who are like Romanian, which is kind of nice, actually.
Romanians party.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool, and like I got to know there's a bit of the culture as well. Like it was really new for me, especially, and I would come and like teach them how like we were like not supposed to even go out. We were not supposed to date, and I would like tell them that, and they would be all so shocked at me. It's like it's different because it's so different.
Is she still in France?
Like I had a roommate.
Yes.
Yes. I had a
No,
roommate-
Carlos was asking if you were still in France. So I told him, yes, you are in France still.
Yes. And so like I had a roommate, and but it was like my second time cooking and stuff like this.
You
And
burnt the house?
yes, in a house alone. It's there.
So, real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we're gonna get to this one last question, and then I know that it's really late where you're at, and then we'll just let you go so you could go to sleep for a little
Okay.
while. So Thomas has a question. He wants to know who has been the strongest influencer or mentor in your life.
I would say my dad, because like he really like, even though he's like I'm against his ideas and stuff like this, like I would say that he really like when you have a conversation with him, he really teaches you something like in depth.
Nice,
So
nice.
Yeah, I would say that like yeah, it's because of like my parents and all. I've been like brought up so well, and I think that I'm like this for a reason.
You know, I think you are the black sheep of your family
Yes,
because from our prior conversations,
yes,
you took a stand, you know, with your culture.
yes,
As far as you're not going to have an arranged marriage,
yes,
you know, so you're like, nope. And you know what? You are one of these empowering women.
yes.
And we commend you for that out here. It's real good, you know. But
Yes,
I
have respect for my parents, like
no, of
because
course, I think we all do have respect for our parents, you know. But at the same time, you have to stand up for what you believe, and
Can't
that
agree
is
with everything they say.
right. And that is something that you've done,
yes,
you know. And kudos to you. Thank you for coming on board today.
Yes.
We had issues, we resolved them.
yes,
I commend you. You know, thank you very much. I'm sure you and I will reconnect again, and we could do another show together.
yes.
You know, whenever you want, you're always welcome to come on. You know,
sure.
we have Sketchy Peasant. He's saying, "Thank you, Roshni." You see, I said it right for sharing your story and speaking about Sri Lanka. You're very informative, and I enjoyed listening to you speak. Hit the club this weekend and get down on the dance floor. Just boogie, boogie, boogie.
What a bad influence.
Roshni, thank you very much. We will, and I'll get with you during the week.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was cool, man. That was cool. You handled that like a champ, bro.
Yes, I did, man. Look, let me tell you something.
Hey, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Hey, look, it was very hard, to be honest, to go ahead and have her on, and I'm on one screen, you guys on another. You know, lucky for me, I have 2 cameras, so I was able to take care of it. But listen, we're gonna roll into another commercial, and we'll get back with a quick couple topics here.
Do you have an old, dirty car? Is it covered in pollen or mud? Or does it just look gross? If so, we got you covered. Straight out of Clearwater, Florida, it's Frank's Car Wash. Owned by Frank Cuesta, the #1 guy for all your car washing needs in the greater Florida area.
This is a joke on
So if
Frank.
your car is muddy, if it's covered in pollen, or it's just nasty, gross, in need of a deep clean, don't go anywhere else.
Oh yeah, that's so clean.
Frank's prices are truly unbeatable. They're the best in Florida. When you're feeling dirty, check out Frank's Car Wash.
You motherfuckers. You motherfuckers. Okay. Hey, Zach, get on here, man. You're getting on, buddy. Zach,
Hey, how's it going?
whose goddamn idea
needed
was
that.
this?
I need that.
Okay, this morning, I was like, I want to practice my video editing skills, and I thought, oh my god, we have this new software that like helps us get like licensed videos and stuff. And I went, oh my god, what if I make a commercial for tonight's show? And then, of course, right before the show, we learned you're not even in Clearwater, but I fixed it at the end, so I'm happy.
Holy hell, that was great.
What did Joe say about this?
Him, that's all him.
So Frank, listen, I mean, this could be
Was
a
this
changing
Joe's
moment.
idea?
If you wake up tomorrow,
It was
if you
your.
wake up tomorrow and you have a line of cars outside, bro, that's your new business
There
right
we go.
there.
I really don't know what to say. I mean, the minute I heard car wash, I knew it was it.
I said, if this is about Frank, I'm gonna die because I'm hearing Joe go on about the description of the car. I said, oh my god, they didn't.
So Joe was on this too, huh?
Hours for this.
Oh.
Of course, that was his voice.
We did this in the morning. We're like, oh my god, there's only like
Dude.
6 more hours until the show.
I've been talking about it all day. I'm so glad it happened.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. It's like you knew it was coming. I'm like, this is about Frank. I'm ready to pop. This is about Frank.
No, listen. If you saw me, I lost my shit.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that was good. You know that was good. That was good. All right, so now back to regular programming.
I don't think we can.
Oh man, I don't
I don't think anything else matters at this point.
No. I really don't think it does.
Oh man! All right.
know,
What's
like-
on your mind, Frank? What do you want to talk about?
Oh god, dude, I
I think you just need to open up a new business, man.
yeah, I gotta start washing cars.
For sure.
We haven't done this in a while, which was our holy shit news.
Oh well, I mean, what happened? It's been such
Yeah.
a boring week between the summit and all this crap. I mean, there's not. I mean, what did you find? Tell me you found something good.
Oh yeah, I mean this was I found this last
somebody make a
week.
joke about this.
Okay, yeah. It's this guy, this lobster diver. Where was he at? Hold on, I'm trying to get back on my screen here because I got so much crap open. A lobster diver, okay, says he was swallowed by a humpback whale near
Yeah,
Cape
bro.
Cod.
That's crazy.
Okay. No, yeah. Let's see. Commercial lobster diver Michael Packard was going about his business. Was going about his business when he was swallowed whole by a humpback whale, trapped in his gullet for nearly a minute before coughing back up, according to a report. Packard is 56 years old, was about 35 feet below the surface near Herring Cove Beach at 8 a.m. Friday when the massive mammal tried to turn him into breakfast. The Cape Cod Times reported. All of a sudden,
Wow.
so this is him. He felt a huge shove, and the next thing he knew, he was completely black. Right. Okay. So
It was completely black.
he
Yeah,
got
he couldn't
right.
see.
It was right. He couldn't see.
It's a good thing he's not part of their diet.
Well, I mean, I don't want to even know what it is to be in a whale, but
Well, just watch Finding Nemo. I wonder if he was making the same sounds too.
I wonder, man. I wonder. I mean, look, here's the guy. Let me just put him up here for you. Here he is. I mean, and he's super happy. He's like, yeah, I'm good to go. I got swallowed alive. At least I guess the whale. I guess the whale's a spitter. Then I'm gonna assume.
I mean, he's a little too big to be considered plankton. So I think the whale kind of figured that out. Like, yo, this is not shrimp.
But I mean, I guess maybe just because I don't. Oh, look! Hold on a minute. I didn't see before. Let's hold on. I gotta reshare this because I don't think I have audio to it.
Sketchy brings up an interesting point here. I mean, anything's possible in today's day. I would like to see where this unfolds if there's more investigation on it. I mean, can you see? It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me if it was fake. But you know what? If you told me a guy landed a plane at the Hudson, I would have called that fake too until I saw it actually happen. So,
yeah, I mean, I saw it and I'm like, really? How could this really happen? Because it just, to me, it doesn't seem right. To be honest with you,
well, as far as I know,
I don't understand how the hell were you to go ahead, get swaddled, and get spit out. What? He wasn't chewed? The whales don't chew?
No, humpbacks.
I really don't know.
I got to make sure I got my whales correct. So hopefully, if somebody knows more than I do, jump on in. But yeah, humpbacks don't eat like large meaty animals, man. They eat plankton, so their teeth are almost like hair, and they kind of smile as they swim, and they filter all that food, and that's how they eat. I'm surprised he got into his mouth, to be honest with you, because that's not how whales eat, really. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of bizarre that he even got there in the first place, but I mean, nature's funny like that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to rule anything out. Anything in this planet is possible. Let's just call a spade a spade. But
I guess
the way humpbacks eat whale, man, they kind of smile as they swim, and all that food just filters up against their teeth, and that's how they eat, pretty much.
Right.
I mean, again, if anyone wants to correct me, go ahead. But I think that's how it works.
Yeah, probably. Usually the whale doesn't use its teeth to chew. Instead, it often eats its food whole. Some tooth whales like the narwhal or only honest and God.
But I think humpbacks just eat plankton.
Dude, again, I mean, I don't know much about sea life. I just know that I go fishing every once in a while and I catch a fish. I don't even know what kind of fish it is. I throw it on a grill and we eat it. That's how much I know about all that. I mean, what could I say?
Yeah, look, see, humpback whales feed on shrimp-like crustaceans like krill and small fish and plankton. Yeah, they just smile, and their teeth are made of it almost looks like hair, like a brush, like just long strands of hair is what it kind of looks like. So I'm surprised. Right. That's why I kind of maybe understand why he's not full of bruises, because I don't think humpbacks are full of teeth. They eat very tiny fish. They just eat millions of them. And that's weird. It is weird. I mean, if something else comes out of it, then fine, but hell of a story. Yeah. I mean, it happened in the Bible, so who knows?
Bible?
It did happen in the Bible. Yep, somebody got swallowed in the Bible too by a whale.
Maybe that's the life the guy's living, man. I don't know, man. I have no idea on that, man. But hey, look, I think week wasn't too eventful. Hey, you know what? We got time for one more story here.
One more story.
Yeah. And
well, wait a minute. I see something interesting here. I think. What are we talking about here at 2146? What's this?
Well, there's two parts to this story.
All right.
When I first saw this story, okay, and here we're talking about, it's called the final child support payment, right?
That's so a party.
No, well, yeah. I mean, I know I partied when I had my final child support payment.
I
was like, yes, so I was okay with it. But this man here, let me try to get the video. But so there's two parts of it, because what the guy did is funny as shit. But then when there's other parts to it, which kind of, when you get the story out of it, it's pretty crappy with on how it worked.
on how it worked. What did he do something?
Well, on what the guy did. I mean,
Oh, okay.
on how things were with the man. What? Look, let's
All right.
play
Now,
this
now
story.
you have
here.
now you've piqued my curiosity. What happened?
Yeah. Guy's a piece of shit.
Oh boy.
Cents of it.
So
If a penny
Oh,
is 1,000 words,
I just
certainly 80,000 of the coins
wow.
will help.
No, but that's not how he did it.
Tell her side of the
Oh.
story.
when I was
Look,
in
look, look,
middle
look.
class, my dad came by. He had rented a trailer.
The Deep Run senior will spend the summer at home before venturing to Virginia Tech for her freshman year.
He pulled up in front of our house, like turned the trailer on, so it dumped.
When he
out
dumped it?
He's in the street in front of our house.
okay, so what did the guy do? Loaded a trailer full of pennies
He dumped all the pennies on the,
and
on the
dumped
road
it.
in front of the house.
$800 worth of pennies.
Damn.
Okay, but you
Wow,
see,
that's
this,
petty.
yeah. I mean, the guy said, "Fuck it." My last one, boop, $800.
Ouch.
Okay, but now look, this is where the problem lies. This is where the problem lies. All right, we'll listen to the story a little more, and this is where the guy's a piece of shit. Now
Oh, it gets worse.
the fact that the guy did that, I laugh at that all day. I wish I would have had the balls to do that too. That's
So
balls.
far, it's kind of funny so far. So let me see what
now
happens.
watch it. This is now that they're gonna go into the relationship.
And my mom walked outside while it was happening. She didn't recognize him at first, and she asked, "What are you dumping on my lawn?" And he said, "It's your final child support payment." And that's when she realized who it was.
Never thinking she'd have to use a snow shovel in the summer to scoop up some domestic drama.
It's not just her that he'd be trying to embarrass. It's also me. It's also my sister. And it's upsetting that he doesn't really consider that before he did this.
Once the pennies were picked up, Sanford and her mom decided to flip the script. Her mom donating her daughter's last child support payment, every penny, to Safe Harbor, a domestic abuse shelter.
Turning around and donating that money to moms and children in need, like, I feel like that just really turns the situation into like a positive one. Like, you can learn a lesson from it.
A lesson Avery's teaching. She hasn't spoken to her father in years. She says the penny incident proves she made the tough but right decision to stay clear, and she has no interest in having a relationship with anyone who disrespects her mother.
It is really hurtful and damaging to your kids when you do things like that. And it doesn't matter how old your kid is. It doesn't matter if they're
All right, so we get the picture. All right, so obviously they had. I mean, like she said, they haven't spoken in years. So the guy was obviously pissed off that he was paying child support. But you know what? And well, again, when I first saw the story, I laughed my ass off at what the guy did. I didn't hear the whole story. Now, when I heard the whole story, I was like, dude, really? You're gonna be that much of an asshole to go ahead and drop $800 worth of pennies on your ex-wife's lawn, money that goes to your kids, supposedly. Okay. No, hey, listen,
Oh, hey, I've heard stories.
we
I
all know that child. Look,
I
I
know.
pay child support. I don't think child support goes always to the kids. Okay,
No.
but at the same time,
How could you assume such a thing.
come on, man. Let's be real. All right. We know how people are and what people do. Okay. But the fact that he, that she, the daughter was even saying that haven't spoken to my dad in years.
Mhm.
Okay. Granted, there might be another backstory behind that.
Yeah, I mean, we've only heard it from her side, and you got to
But-
wonder if you heard the story. This is how the media likes to do things, and I'm not insinuating or assuming, but it's always something to pay attention to. Nowhere did they say that he was abusive to her.
Right. Right.
But they tell you that she donated the money to an abuse, an organization for abuse. That leads the person watching that to assume. And so, the news likes to do shit like that. And so I don't know if he was abusive or not, but I kind of don't like it when the media does that nonsense. But however, I and I don't know what she's done to him for him to be so hostile. I mean, I pay support, and I don't think I'll be dropping a ton of pennies on my ex's door. I mean, she gets it direct, and I'm cool. You know, but I don't know, you know, and like you said, we haven't heard his side. He might turn around and say, you know what this woman does? Before you know it, you're like,
oh no, hey, listen,
wow.
there's two sides to every story.
Every story.
You know,
every story.
But hey, but you know what, guys? We've come time. You know, we've hit our hour mark. I think we could probably go more, but you know what? I think we'll save it for next week.
Yeah,
you know,
we're good, man. It was a great show. Roshni was awesome. I wish we could have like had that direct conversation, but you know, we'll take what we can get. You did a fabulous job. You did a fab
thank
job.
you. I mean, I think eventually we will be able to do it. I don't know. Maybe try to bring her on another time. You know, we'll figure it out.
Just see.
But hey, look.
What other forms of whatever, like apps or whatever she can use to connect and play around with it until you can get a solid connection with all of us, and we're good. So
yeah, I think look, at the end of the day, it's 4:00 in the morning where she's at right now. So the fact that
and Sketchy's telling her to go to the club at 4 a.m.
But I'll tell you, man, the culture she has, the culture she lives. You know, because she didn't talk about it now, but she lives right now with her mom and dad in France.
Oh, they're all in France. Okay.
Right. They are in France. You know, so
batting 1,000. I like that.
Hey, yes, sir, Sketchy. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
Oh yeah, I forgot. It's Father's Day this weekend, isn't it?
Yes, it's Father's Day weekend.
It's such an irrelevant holiday.
Hey, you know what? We actually we get together and we barbecue.
That's good.
We go to my dad's house and we barbecue.
Yeah, I get a gift certificate to McDonald's and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah. So hey,
maybe
Carlos,
the kids will wash your car this weekend.
Any final words, Carlos?
Nah, man. Happy Father's Day to you, Frank.
Same to you. Hey, look, guys, if you want your car washed, call Zach LaPlante. I could give you his phone number. Okay. Go ahead and get a hold of Joe at ClovercrestMedia.com. They sponsor our show. Actually, I'm sorry. They produce our show. Okay. Everything you see that goes on in the background is done by them. Thank you. Joe, I'm coming for you. Remember that. What else could I say? You might not agree with what we're speaking. You might agree with what we're speaking. But at the end, we will always be speaking it real.
Always.